Hey friends, ZenKahuna here. Today we're going to use double ball staff. Now the double ball staff is great for a lot of reasons. One is that it really works your hands, your digital dexterity. Another one is the neurological benefit of these. The only thing that makes it better is if you use two of them at the same time. Now, you can do two of them at the same time, but you can also do two at the same time while you're walking, either forwards or backwards. So I'm going to demonstrate these from a standing position first, then I'll show you doing the same thing walking. So let's take a look first of all at just doing one of the double ball staffs at a time. So we call this the continuous salute. Then we could do the other side. Then we could do alternating ones. And this is where it really starts to get neurologically challenging. So if we took them for a walk, it would look like this. If we then wanted to go backwards, it would be this. So, I think you can tell from just watching a few minutes of this that it's a very complex, neurologically challenging series of movements. When you add the walking, it gets even more so. So how do you learn how to do something like this? Well, first of all, you have to start playing with your double ball staffs in lots of different ways. Just getting used to moving the staff from the hand. Do you see how I'm letting the ball move through my hand? Different motions with the double ball staff. So then your basic movement would be a forward and back, or an out to the side and back. Then if we wanted to do a salute, so a basic salute would look like this. And you come back to your beginning position. Let's do a couple of those. Then if you wanted to make it continuous, notice how that happens. So we just do it with one double ball staff at first. So here, here, here. Now as it starts to come down, you let it go through your hand and turn your hand over so you can just go right on through to your second, third, and fourth, and fifth salute. As opposed to coming from our starting position and ending up there each time. So the continuous salute then would be this. So you'd want to practice that on the other side. Just doing your basic salute and stopping at the end of each one. Then you turn it into the continuous salute. I'm going to see if I can do this just a little bit slower so you might be able to see the movement easier, but keep in mind you can also put this on slow motion. If you're watching this on YouTube, you go to your settings and set it up for 25% speed, 75% speed, or 50% speed, so you can see it. And then you just go back up to your regular speed. So there it is on both sides. Now if you're going to do it alternating, and here's one of the keys. Don't try the alternating one until you become proficient at all the steps in between. And I'll tell you why. Because what happens is, if you try and jump ahead too quickly, you have to be thinking about what you're doing, which means you're always a little bit behind what needs to be done next, especially in a complex move like that. So the key is to become proficient where you don't have to think about the move. So it's just like this. I have done this so many thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of times, that it doesn't require any thought. It's just right in there in the kinetic memory. Right? Easy to do. I can go in all sorts of different directions, make stops anywhere along that I want, and very comfortable, no thought involved. So once you become proficient in doing a movement, so the salute with one hand to a stop, then the salute in a continuous form, and you can do that with both hands independently. Then putting it together where you're doing it at the same time becomes easier. And I don't have to think about it. Now the next level would be to take them for a walk. This is where it gets really tricky. Each one of these progressions, it adds more complexity. And your brain thrives as you give it complex requirements. You'll find that after a while, this will be very simple for you. At the beginning, you might find it more challenging. So let's take a look at what it looks like walking it forward. So you can see that just by adding the simple, relatively simple act of walking to doing the double salute, much more difficult. Now, what's one of the ways you practice? Well, first of all, make sure you've got your basic walking forward down pat. And you might think, oh, well, I've already got that. Well, you'll find that actually you may not have that as well as you thought when you start doing it with a double ball staff. Same thing with walking backwards, especially walking backwards. Most people don't walk backwards at all, ever. So let me show you how to practice for that. So you don't have to have the staffs, you can just do it without them. But here's what it looks like. You want to step back in an alternating movement, arms and legs. So you've got a cross-crawl motion going on. Now when you're doing this, look at it from the side for a moment. When I step back, I don't want to lean back. A lot of people do this. That's just throwing you off balance. There's no need to do that. The other mistake they make is lots of times one hand doesn't move. In other words, they'll step back like this. Make sure both hands are moving, both arms. Now once you have that, then you can begin your walking backwards with the alternating continuous salute. So here we go. So I hope that what you saw was that by doing these movements where you don't have to think about it, where you know each movement so well that when you begin to put them together, all there is just a natural synchronous movement from the more simple to the more complex. It's just a nice progression. It's just smooth. And that's what you want to do with any of the movements that you might see me doing on my channel, whether it's with the double ball staff or Indian clubs or steel clubs or the maces or the kettlebells or the sandbags or whatever I might be using. You start from the beginning, master beginning moves, and then continue the progression on and on and on. Always coming back again and again and again to beginnings, because as you come back to beginnings over and over again, you'll find that, maybe I don't have that beginning as well as I thought I did. I can actually do this better. And then that makes your progressive movement even better. So, have fun with it, and always, always make sure you've got plenty of space around you when you're slinging wood or steel.